What's going on, guys? Stefan here with you, S&E's Garage. Today we are in the garage with our GX470 and we are going to be revitalizing the infotainment system on this vehicle today. So when we were on the search for a GX, we purposely went with one that did not have navigation or the Mark Levinson sound system. And we did that for a reason. It is a lot easier to replace the infotainment system, the head unit, things like that, if you don't have nav, because with the nav unit, a lot of the HVAC stuff is in the unit itself, and it makes it harder to replace it, and I didn't want that. I wanted to be able to update this thing. So what we have here is a bunch of different things that we got, and we're going to go ahead and install them all today. At the forefront of our system, we went with a Sony XAV-AX3700. It's got a roughly 7-inch screen. It's got Apple CarPlay. It's got Sirius XM. It's got HD radio, but it does not play CDs. Not a big deal. I can't tell you the last time I used the CD. I'm not worried about it. We also went with a bunch of different other things here. So let's go ahead. Let's get you on the tripod. Let's take everything out and show you exactly what we got. And we're going to go ahead and start prepping for this install. Now, the system in your GX470, whether you have the Mark Levinson or not, is externally amplified. And in order to get this head unit to talk to the amplifier that's in the vehicle, you're going to need a TYT0-01. This is the amp turn on interface. This basically goes between the radio and the amplifier, and it's what, like I said, allows them to talk and allows this head unit to play sound through the factory amplifier. So you're going to need that. And then if you want to maintain your steering wheel controls for volume and modes and things like that, you're going to need these two guys here. This is an Access ASWC-1. And then we have the harness that also goes with it. This is a Metra 70-8114. So what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to focus on the head unit today. This video is going to be for the head unit, and in another video we'll go ahead and address the speaker situation. But what we are going to go ahead and do, we're going to get all of our wiring out of the way. We're going to wire this as much as we can outside of the car. So let me clear my toolbox off here. Let's get these speakers out of the way and let's go ahead and start wiring. So what we're basically doing right now, this is the harness that comes with your head unit. We're just basically stripping it and getting it ready for all of the crimping that we're going to be doing shortly. You're going to want probably about 1/4 inch of wire out. So we're just going to go ahead and do that to all these guys here, and then we'll be back with you. So we just went ahead and wired everything together here. The way you're going to wire this is going to change drastically depending on the components that you're using. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to drop down in the video right now. I'm going to show you everything that we connected to each other and how we did it. But you'll see here we kind of made our harnesses neatly as we could here. There's like 3 different modules here that are kind of jumbled together, going to different harnesses here. So you'll see it. It's kind of messy, but it's going to be behind the dash. And then most of our crimps are all taped up. A majority of the wiring that you're going to be doing is just wiring the speaker colors from this amp module to your factory head unit. You're going to have your power wire, your ground wires, and things like that. So with that being said, let's go ahead, let's get in the car and let's start taking the center stack apart, because that's going to be our next step. We need to clear the way for the radio, and then there's going to be a couple of things we're going to have to connect in the vehicle itself. All right, guys, we're here in the vehicle now. One of the first things that they're going to tell you to do in these instructions is to go ahead and turn your volume up to 3/4 volume. The volume in this vehicle goes up to 60, 3/4 of that is 45. So we've already gone ahead and done that. The ignition's off, the volume is set to 45, and we're ready to go. There's no CDs in there, and everything's good. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these lower trim pieces here. There's going to be one here, and there's going to be one on this side. We're going to go ahead and remove them. We have these plastic trim removal tools that are going to make quick work of that. We're just going to go ahead and pop these off. So here's one. Okay, and here's number two. And now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing here with these center stack ones here. Now our dashboard is a little old, so I want to try my best to not have to pry against the dash. I want to go against, you know, some harder plastic surfaces here, like this area under here. So we're just going to go ahead, like you just saw, and very carefully, without breaking anything, pry this out. And there is a connector under here that we are going to have to disconnect for the hazard switch. So we got that side off. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the passenger side. Again, there is going to be a connector for the airbag telltale, so beware of that. Make sure you get that connector off. This plastic sounds so brittle when it comes off, but luckily we're not cracking anything. It just sounds a lot worse than it is. Okay, so now that we're at this point, we can go ahead and start removing some of the other things here. I believe this is going to pull straight out like so. We can just let that sit. And now we have some 10 millimeters here. There's going to be 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there is another one down here that holds this wire harness in place that we're going to go ahead and remove as well. That should let us manipulate that. Now let's go ahead and get this off. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these nuts out, or these bolts out, and we'll be back with you. Once those are out, we should now be able to very carefully remove our whole unit here. Now we just have to go ahead and unplug everything. So what we need to do now is separate the head unit from the climate control and the clock assembly. And it looks like we're going to be doing that with these 4 screws on this side, and then there's going to be another 4 on this side. And after we remove those screws, we should be able to slide this unit out. So to remove these screws, you can use a Phillips head or an 8mm. I prefer the 8mm. The Phillips heads like to strip them, unfortunately. Now, we should not be reusing those screws. Your new head unit should be coming with its own set of hardware. Once you remove those 8 screws that hold the radio in, we are now going to go ahead and remove the clock. It is going to be held in with 4 screws. Now we can see the screws back here that hold the rest of the clock on. That is going to allow us to move the clock out of the way. and unclip the radio. And there you have it. The old radio is out. Now we can go ahead and test fit the radio. So this next part is going to completely depend on the radio that you selected. Ours is only held in with 2 screws. You can see 2 there and 2 there, so 4 in total, 2 on each side. And now you can go ahead and take your dash kit and slide it into place. Just being mindful that this is what's going to help secure your clock back into place. I have to pull the clock back out. Okay. Is that click in? This is tricky. Some tricky stuff here. There we go. Now we're clicked in. Now we can go ahead and put our screws back in. So I did very quickly just want to show you guys some things that we did off camera here. Nothing crazy, nothing that I really think you needed to watch me do. All I did was route my microphone wire through the headliner, down and under. You'll see it come up right here. It's super easy. You really don't have to take anything apart. You just kind of shove it underneath the trim while you're going, and then route it underneath and come up. And then over here by the head unit, we just kind of, in the neatest way that we could, kind of bunched all this stuff together so that it wouldn't be rattling up under the dashboard when we put everything back together. It's nice because it's going to kind of slip right into this space here where the factory head unit was. And then we have our extension USB-C cable here to plug in our phone. And then here we have our parking brake cable. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to route this to a toggle switch straight to ground so that I can bypass it. Basically, I'm going to put a little switch there, and when I want to watch a movie or something like that, turn the switch on, it's going to think the parking brake's on. That's just the easiest way to do it, so that is something that we're going to do. But let's go ahead, route all these wires, get this thing in the car, and let's check it out. All right, we went ahead, reassembled this basically in the reverse order that we showed you when we removed it. And what you're going to see here is everything works. Let's let it power up. You just see we connected the Bluetooth. So now if I click volume up, we have volume up. We have volume down. All of our apps here work. If we go to the radio, obviously that's a static station. Let's go to a station here. So without getting copyrighted, I did just want to show you that it works. Everything works, volume works. I can go ahead and change, you know, the station from here. Let's go ahead and put the CarPlay on real quick, show you what it's all about. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click the home button here, and we're going to go to CarPlay. And here you'll see CarPlay works. We have all of our music, we have our maps, we have all of our other apps that we can use, the split screen here, audiobooks, news, messages, you name it, it's in here. Everything works great. So with any luck, this should be your end result, a nice classy looking dashboard with a nice Android Auto or Apple CarPlay head unit installed. So like I said earlier, I'm going to leave everything that we personally used in the video description below in order to make this all work. Earlier in the video, I did drop down, you know, I made a list of what wires are going to connect to what from which module. So just connect yours the same way we did if you do the same exact setup as us. If you do something a little bit different, you're going to have to dig into the instructions of whatever you're looking at and, you know, do it the way that they want you to do it. But again, this is the way we do it. It worked for us and everything's great. So please like, share, subscribe, stay tuned. We're going to be doing the door speakers next in a following video, and we'll see you next time.